the presidential nonsense?
No, I was covering flooding.
You're standing on your head at the moment.
Yeah, well, they've sent me to Australia.
We're now live.
Very good.
We're now live.
That's fine.
Let me just change my view. Okay. And spotlight for everyone. There we go. This is how we sing. Very nice.
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
We just prepare. We give ourselves another minute before we start singing, because that would be insane for us Jews to start a service early, wouldn't it? So wishing everyone Shabbat Shalom, and get out your siddur, make sure you're ready to light your candles, and we will begin with service number 1. So we're going to sing L'chuna Ranana first on page 70, and then once we've settled into Shabbat, we will light our candles. We are now, Helena and everyone else, we're now on page 69, as we are going to welcome Shabbat together. So I invite you all to get ready to light your Shabbat candles. This has been an auspicious week of a new dawn, a new beginning. And for those of us who watched, I just heard Graham refer to it as the inauguration nonsense, which I well understand, but there were moments of that ceremony on Wednesday that anticipate something, and I hope will inspire those of us who work hard to work in our world to make the world a better place. So I just want to share some of the lines of that extraordinary poem by Amanda Gorman just before we light the candles. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried. And when day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. So friends, we light candles tonight. In a sense, nothing has changed since last Shabbat. We get the same candles out. We sing the same songs with Dean. We do the same opening of our weekends together. And to mark this time during these extraordinary days when days can lead into each other, but in another way, something did happen this week. and perhaps we've had a sense, a taste of hope. So let's light our candles tonight before we go straight into singing L'Chadodi. But as Psalm 96 suggests, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, sing a new song to the Eternal One. Sing to your Creator, all the earth. Let's just bring a new kavanah, a new intention to our singing of L'Chadodi tonight. So I'm going to turn around, light my candles, and invite you to light yours. Oh, Betty and David, you're one step ahead of us. So once you've all done it, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. And I'm going to offer a shehechianu right now, the blessing that we say for reaching something for the first time, because something did happen this week for us, and maybe it did ignite some possibilities. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. L'Chadodi is on page 73. On page 92. So let's offer the first blessing before the Shema together, you at home, me here, as we mark how the lights and the seasons change. Monday was considered to be the darkest day of the year, both in terms of mood and light. So we're encouraged to think things can only get lighter. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv v'arabim, b'chochma potech sha'arim, u'bitbuna mashane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'masadeh et hakochavim, b'mishmorateihem b'rakia, kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golelo mipnei choshech, v'hoshech mipnei or, u'ma'avir yom u'mevir layla, u'ma'avdil ben yom u'ven layla, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, Baruch Atah Adonai, Hama'arif Aravi.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed.
Ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, uv'chol mo'odecha. You shall love the Eternal One, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Let these words which I give and command you today be always in your heart. Teach them diligently to your children and other people's children. Speak of them when you're at home, when you're out in the wider world, when you lie down, and when you get up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be like frontlets between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
So as we recall the Exodus from Egypt, we say these words, all this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule, and then, full of joy, we sang together.
מי כמוך האלים אדוני, מי כמוך בדבר קודש, נורא תהילות עושה חלק, נורא
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חיזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Praise you, O God. May your sheltering peace descend on us and all who dwell on earth. So let's all go to the Amidah, the Tefillah. We're on page 27. As we sing with Dean, open our mouths, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praise.
Adonai Zefatai Tifta Uki Agite Hilatecha. Adonai Zefatai Tifta Uki Agite Hilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei v'Nehem, Lama'an Shemo b'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye metim atah Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hageshem, Mazriach hashemesh u'morid hatal. Machalkel chayim b'chesed, Mechaye metim b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofech olim, U'mati asurim, U'makayem emunato lishnei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gvorot, u'mi domelach, melech memit u'machaye u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'ema nata lahachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, machaye hametim. Kadosh atah v'norash shemecha, ve'en lanu Eloham baladecha, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el, ha'kadosh. And to mark Shabbat, bring us back to Shabbat. We're on page 99, and let's sing Vashamru.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat, Na'asot et Hashabbat leDorotam, Berit Olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat, Na'asot et Hashabbat leDorotam, Berit Olam. B'nei
Baruch atah Adonai Makadesh HaShabbat. Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel, and in your love accept their prayers. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. We praise you, O God, whom alone we worship in reverence. And a reminder to share whatever you can feel grateful, appreciative for this week, so that the words of Modim Anachnu Lach truly lift up and rise from our lips with our own intention. Modim Anachnu Lach she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu le'olam va'ed. Tzur chayenu magen ishenu, ata hu l'dor v'dor. Nodeh lecha u'nsaper tehilatecha, al hayenu hamsurim biyadecha. V'al nishmotenu hapakudot lach, v'al nisecha shebechol yom imanu, v'al niflotecha v'tovotecha shebechol et erev v'voker v'tzoharayim. Baruch ata Adonai, hatov shimcha ulacha na'er lohodot. Let's go into that evening prayer for peace. Sorry, Dean.
Sorry. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amra Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amra Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amra Tasim Leolam. V'kol peinecha levared et Amcha Yisrael. V'kol edu v'kol shar bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amra Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amra Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Baruch ata Adonai oseh hashalom. I particularly loved your messages of gratitude this evening. Thank you so much for sharing them. So may I remind you that this Shabbat has been designated as Mental Health Shabbat by the Jewish community. And it's the Shabbat that's always chosen, the one that has the plague of darkness in it. Why? Because the plague of darkness is described not just as black night sky, but as a palpable darkness that you could almost feel, and that it was so strong and heavy and visceral in its heaviness that no person could rise from their bed or indeed even touch or connect with or see another person. And that idea of darkness, I think we're all familiar with. All of us go through lives at various points where darkness has the better of us, and some more than others. But I think this idea of the plague, of understanding, of having an empathy towards those moments when darkness is palpable, so palpable that we can feel it and that it prevents us moving, that is the darkness that is being talked about. Harold Kushner, the writer, wonderful author of When Bad Things Happen to Good People, he wrote a commentary on this verse of the darkness. Perhaps the Egyptians were depressed, he suggested, by the series of calamities that had struck them, or by the realization of how much their own comfort depended on the enslavement of others. The person who cannot see their neighbor is incapable of spiritual growth, incapable of rising. Thus, in our lifetimes will spin in and out of various degrees of strength, we are reminded that it's the need for others that often keeps us sane. And for me this week, both the inauguration and an event that I attended just before the inauguration reminded me that actually the world can feel smaller, where we really do feel that we are connected with others, and that what happens in our lives and world matters to others, and likewise them to us. And I think the power of Wednesday afternoon, both Biden's suggestions, but even more so, that extraordinary poem by Amanda Gorman allowed us to feel that we are all fragile, bruised, broken perhaps, but that being connected to each other is key. Nelson Mandela wrote that when isolation became a habit in the prison, when they were being punished, it was the most forbidding aspect of prison life. No end, no beginning, only one's mind, which can begin to play tricks. So this Shabbat, as we think of the plague of darkness and think maybe of how hard we've all worked in our own lives to be connected to others, whether before lockdown or even during it, may we hold on to that. So we go now to Sim Shalom. Before we, have we just had Sim Shalom? Did I imagine singing Sim Shalom, Dean?
No.
No.
You did imagine. Yes, we have
I
done
did
it. And it's
imagine that
Oh,
we
say
did.
shalom.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Uya say shalom aleichem. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol bnei Adam. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Uya say shalom aleichem. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol bnei Adam. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Let's move everyone to page 520 as we go to the Aleinu. Really being aware of the words of Aleinu is about building a better world, and perhaps we feel more emboldened than ever to do so.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon ha'kol, לתת אמונה ליוצא בראשית, אשר שם אלוקינו מייחד את שמו, וגורלנו להעמיד מלכותו. גורלנו להעמיד מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים מודי.
before we go to the Kaddish, as a congregation, let's think particularly of those who are marking a yahrzeit or mourning a loved ones. I know the Hatra family are still in the Shloshim, those first 30 days after losing Mary, and being with their community to say Kaddish together must bring comfort for them. Zichrona Livracha, may her memory be for a blessing. We think of the yahrzeits that fall this Shabbat. Joseph Luder, husband of Shirley and father of Bob. Frederica Oppenheimer, mother-in-law of Corin Oppenheimer. Derek Pugh, father of Helena Pugh. And J. Chester Webb and Joshua Mickles Webb, father and brother of Sarah Rosen Webb. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. May those who recall and remember their loved ones be comforted in their loss as we say the words of the Kaddish with them. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach hirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, magala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam amel maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudisha brichu, leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiram b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol bnei Adam, v'imru, amen. So let's go towards the end of our service with Yavarechacha, a beautiful melody that Dean wrote for the Friday night blessing over us, over each other, over children. But truly, it's just a blessing for each one of us. You can find it. Dean and I always forget what page it is, but I'm going to get there and help you. I think you can find it on page 563, Yivarechacha. And then we'll move into Kiddush.
Yesimcha Elohim K'Ephraim V'Ki-Menashe Yesimech Elohim K'Sara Rivka Rachel Leah Yivarechecha Adonai lishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha, v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha, v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom.
So beautiful, Dean. And Andrea, I've just seen you come in, so I am just as we honored the Hatra family as they were still mourning and offering Kaddish for Mary, likewise you for Nori. And we are here with you as a congregation. So friends, grab your whiskey, your red wine. Graham, what are you having tonight? Anyone who has got, oh, what's Gentleman Jack, Annabelle?
It's very smooth bourbon. It's delicious.
Smooth bourbon. Okay. Very nice. And everyone got something to make Kiddush over? Whoever's got halot, please can you hold it up? I cannot hold mine up. So who has ours? Stephen, we can always rely on you. Nice, thank you. Beverly, nice. Oh, Peggy and Alison, nice. Very good. Okay, are we ready? Dean, over to you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchelanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'achata ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat. Amen.
Amen. I've got grape juice mash, just in case you've got grape juice too. So I am going to invite someone with their halot to make hamotzi. So Peggy and Alison, why not? But you need to unmute. Yeah.
Home's a little misshapen, but on a board that Marion gave us.
Oh, nice, nice.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
And Shabbat Shalom. And Michael's going to share the photo of the Ner Tamid from the synagogue so we can feel somewhat close to it, even though we can't be in spitting distance of it. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
It's not the photo, it's actually the Ner Tamid.
Oh, okay. Go on,
Well, because if you can see that this is my dashboard that I use for the restreaming and things. So that's the Ner Tamid is open in the synagogue, and that's it flickering away there.
Nice.
In live this moment. So I've been through the service on my second screen. I've had the Ner Tamid open in front of me. So it's been really warming and lovely.
What a genius you are, Michael.
Oh, I don't know about that, Brian, but that was a little insight into the dashboard that we have to work on when we're in the synagogue, but I've got it remotely on my computer at home.
So may I ask you all, with the light of the Ner Tamid shining on you, make sure that you have said Shabbat Shalom to anyone's name that you don't recognize in our congregation tonight, because that's what we'd want to do if we were in the building. So now just, if you don't recognize someone's name, say Shabbat Shalom. I'm trying to say Shabbat Shalom in French to Helene at the moment. I'm not doing brilliantly well.
Shabbat Shalom, Bash.
Shabbat Shalom, Helena.
Suzanne, you're welcome. Suzanne, you're welcome.
Shabbat Shalom, Helene.
Thank you for your comment that you put in.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Are you local? Are you with us?
Okay.
Ah.
Shabbat